Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to the YouTube channel SHP and Acratech tutorials. Our tutorial today, we are looking at solving simultaneous equations, and our question 1 is we are solving the first set of simultaneous equations where we have x out of y plus y over x equaling to 5 over 2 as our first equation. The second one is x squared plus 2y squared is equal to 9. You will find that unlike the other equations which are common where we don't have squares, the equations where we have squares and fractions of unknowns, we shall have to improvise and look for the best means of handling such equations out of creativity, and it can be simply observed by everyone that since we have x over y plus y over x equaling to 5 over 2 as our first one, if you multiply through by 2xy, because it looks to be the LCM. So if I multiply it through, I will eliminate the denominator. I hope everyone can see that. So we shall have, if we multiply 2xy throughout, when we multiply this, we shall remain with x squared. Then when we multiply it, we shall remain with the 2 here, so it will be 2x squared. Then here it will become 2y squared. Then this one will equal to 5xy, because here this 2 will cancel with this 2, and here the y will cancel with the y and remain with 2x. Then times x becomes x squared. Then here the x will cancel with the x, then we remain with 2y times y, which becomes 2y squared. So that one becomes our equation, which is a little bit simplified. And if I call it equation 1, which is simplified, then my equation 2 now is x squared plus 2y squared is equal to 9. Now, if we are to use the method of elimination, if I want to use this equation, I cannot use this to eliminate y, because I have a combination of xy on the right hand side, a combination of and y squared and x squared. So it will be very hard to make 1 the subject of the formula, but it is easier here, though it will include a square root. So for example, from here, if I make x the subject, it would imply that if you make x the subject, now it would imply that x will become, this 2 will come this side, so it will become 9 minus 2y squared, but this is a square, so if you want to get only x, then it would become the square root. So if this one is my equation, this one was my equation 2 from the question, then for me, if I make now this one my equation star, after making x the subject of the formula, so we shall simply substitute this x in equation 1, because we have used equation 2 to extract this star. So what we say is that we substitute star in 1. That would imply that where we are having x, we shall put there this one, the square root of 9 minus 2y squared. So we have this 2, so it will be a 2 into 9 minus 2y squared plus 2y squared, then plus a 5 into the x, which is 9 minus 2y squared under a square root, then times the y, which is here, and this is an equal sign. So it would, the reason why I'm not putting a square root here is because this x is already squared, and if we square here, the square will cancel out with this. So we shall remain with 18 minus 4y squared plus 2y squared equaling to 5y times the square root of 9 minus 2y squared. So you see, we have now simplified. We are now moving from from two unknowns, which were x and y, but we are now forming an equation which has only y. But only that the challenge we have is that we have a square root which we must remove. But before we remove a square root, we can first simplify, because this and this will come 2y squared, so minus 2y squared, so we shall have 18 minus 2y squared, then equal to 5y times the square root of 9 minus 2y squared. Now there is no way we can move further other than removing the square root sign. It's the only way to go. So we shall square both sides. We shall square this side, square this side. My squaring is just interested in removing this root sign because you cannot go any further with it. So that would mean that we shall go to, after substituting, we shall have 18 squared, after expanding, minus 2 times 18 times 2y squared, then plus 4y power 4 equaling to 25y squared into 9 minus 2y squared. Why am I doing this? I am using, this is from the expansion of, you have to remember that from a plus b squared equaling to a squared plus b squared, yes, then plus 2ab. So this is, you get this times this times this, and now we have a minus b squared equaling to a squared. When you have a minus here, then this one becomes a minus. If I bring it first like the one putting it here, so if I bring it first like the one putting it here, it will be a squared minus 2ab then plus b squared. So this is what I'm using to expand this. So this one will simplify to 324 minus 72y squared then plus 4y power 4 equaling to 225y squared minus 50y power 4. Now if I let y squared to be equal to a, and after simplifying we shall have, after simplifying, if you can follow what we are doing, after simplifying we have that we shall remain with, after making a simplification, that is after moving with everything and bringing a squared, because now if the y squared corresponds to an a, then it would imply that the y power 4 would tend to be a squared. So we shall remain with 54 a squared minus 297 a plus 324 equaling to 0. So in that way, we solve for a, as we know from the general quadratic equation, from general, if you have to compare with the general quadratic equation, we know that from a, x squared plus b, bx plus c equaling to 0. If you have to compare this with this, our a is equal to 54, our b is equal to minus 297, our c is equal to 324. But remember that here we are always given that x is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac out of 2a. That would imply that now our x, where there is x, there is now a. So our a will equal to 297 plus or minus root of 297 squared minus 4 times 54 times 324 out of 2 times 54. And if we are to simplify, we shall end up with a equaling to 297 plus or minus 135 out of 108. And if we simplify, remember this plus or minus will give us the two values. So we shall end up with the first a being 4 and or the second a being 3/2. But remember our a was y squared, so y squared is equal to 4, or y squared is equal to 3/2. That would simplify that after getting the square root, we shall get y equal to plus or minus 2, or we shall have y equaling to square root of 3/2. If I simplify here, because these are like surds, this one will be root 3 out of root 2. Then multiply by root 2 and root 2 down. I end up with y equaling to root of 6 out of 2. That will be simplified one. Now from our star, if you can remember our star, from star, we have that x equal to the square root of 9 minus 2y squared. So that would imply that if you had substitute x will equal to 4, y equal to plus or minus 2, x is equal to, if you had substitute, we get x equal to plus or minus 1. Then for y equaling to root 6 out of 2, the corresponding x value will be root of 6. After substituting the y values here, you get the corresponding values of x. Substitute the y value here, you get the corresponding value of x. Now you have to ensure that you keep remembering that when we are taking the square root, we take both positive value and negative value, because for example root of 4 can be plus 2 or minus 2. So even when you're substituting here, when you get the square root, the final answer, that's why I'm having plus or minus 1. This root 6, I'm making it remain as root 6 because we don't have a direct square root of 6. That is it for today. Don't forget to make a subscription. You tap on the subscription and you tap on the bell icon in order to keep receiving notifications on which videos are being uploaded. Thank you very much.